Hello friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboyjobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Because without you guys, well, this just does not work. So thank each and every one of you guys for being there and being part of the show. I'm actually headed to my parents' house so I get my mom, so I'll take her to the hospital while my dad has his procedure, and fingers crossed everything goes well and he'll be able to go home, I hope, today. I'm hoping and praying that that's the case. But some news on our Cowboys. We all know Jason Witten was added to the Pro Bowl roster, so congratulations to him getting another one under his belt. You know, you can't think of a better player that's been there for the Cowboys, a guy who really deserves to have a Super Bowl ring, but be that as it may. But Tyron Smith, who was also named to another Pro Bowl, won't be playing this because, well, his leg is jacked up and there's no reason in the world to play in a game that's in Orlando. You know, it's not like it's in Hawaii where the weather's nice and everything else and getting a nice vacation. You're talking about going to Orlando. So he's going to be skipping the Pro Bowl. Now here's what's interesting. Mike Fisher is one of the best, Dallas Cowboy writers, bloggers, whatever you want to call him, out there. Generally speaking, he's not going to be like, say, a Mike Ferrello that just gives you just a whole bunch of crap. You'll remember years ago, Mike Ferrello went out saying there's the whole Dez Bryant video that's 10 times worse than Ray Rice that started a whole firestorm against Dez Bryant. Mike Fisher is pretty accurate. Football's unpredictable, but generally speaking, Mike Fisher isn't going to put out anything that he doesn't believe or isn't accurate. Him and I are on different opinions. I believe that Dez Bryant won't be back in Dallas next year because of the salary. Let's face it. The reality is it's $16.5 million as a cap number, and that's almost 10% of your cap. To pay somebody 10% who is not your quarterback, you got to be damn good. And the Cowboys' problem is they're so top-heavy with salaries. You look at his salary, you look at the production that's been going downhill over the last few years, you look at the injuries that he's been getting, and some of the off-the-sidelines outbursts and things, that you start saying, is this worth $16.5 million? Well, Stephen Jones last night said basically, yeah, Dez Bryant's outbursts are a distraction to the team. That doesn't mean that they're planning on getting rid of him or not, but I'm believing that it's the beginning of the end. Mike Fisher believes that, no, this is just negotiation. So, I tweeted at him this morning, and he's kind of tweeted back, and we've had different tweets that have popped up between us where I'm on one side, he's on the other, but time will tell what the real deal will be on that one. So we'll have to wait and see. But when I look at our Cowboys, to me, the biggest problem is, and we're still getting out of this, is basically past transgressions. Where we were, hey, this guy's a great guy, we want to take care of him and pay him and everything else, and we sign a big contract. We did that with Jay Ratcliffe, we did that with Miles Austin, after having a year or two that's been really good. Marion Barber, and for years we've been basically playing catch up on the salary, having to renegotiate contracts to get more money just to get under the cap. And when you have so many of those big contracts like that, it prohibits you from getting lesser talent that's going to perform on your team. Our offense forever has been basically 2-to-1 spending on defense. So when you look at Dez Bryant and Tyron Smith being, 34 million dollars of your cap for just two guys. You add to that Tyrone Crawford is another 9. All of a sudden you got $45 million tied up with 3 players. Then you add Jason Witten, you add Sean Lee. All of a sudden, half of your cap money is used up on those guys. I'm not saying that they're not great guys, that they're not worth it, but you lose Tyron Smith, you got Dez Bryant who's ailing, and you've got Jason Witten who's getting older. and you got Sean Lee that's out, all of a sudden, of those top salaries, they're not on the field. And what you have behind them is the problem. Because you're paying so much to these guys, you're paying bottom basement numbers. So you look in free agency, we go for the Grant Thorntons, we go for the Nolan Carrolls, the DeMontre Moores, guys that are on the bottom level of free agency and aren't going to be impact players. And that's why I say, at this time of year, you got to look at every single contract that you have and say, is the $9.1 million I'm paying Tyrone Crawford, am I getting that much production out of him? Or do I look at a Taco and say, well, he's not far off from him and he's young and he's only $2.1 million. And that's the game they've got to play. And I believe that the Cowboys and Stephen Jones, who let go of DeMarco Murray as well as DeMarcus Ware, he's looking to finally get back to where we're not in cap hell, that if there is a player or two that they want and need, they can go get. But time will tell. We'll know by March where the team is heading, because they've got some tough decisions to make. So definitely check out Mike Fisher and go to that tweet, and I want to see your comments on that tweet. So as always, friends, thank everybody for the support, thank everybody for the prayers, and I'll see you guys later on. I'm going to have some time at the hospital where I'm just kind of sitting around waiting, so I'll probably work on some video editing and stuff, and I'll see you guys soon.